Hello viewers, welcome back to another episode of An Old Man with a Smartphone. In the last episode I introduced the DM-32 from Baofeng. This is kind of a unique radio for the Baofeng lineup, as it does DMR and has a few other little tricks up its sleeve. The first video I did was a very brief look. I've only just received these radios and haven't had much time to understand them. But I thought the best way to understand a new radio would be through the programming software. So in this episode, I'd like to take a quick walk through the programming software and talk a little bit about my experience. First off, what you're looking at is what I'm going to call your standard frequency set. This will be all the channels that you have stored inside your radio. These are just the local repeaters from around my area, southern Alberta. I have arranged them by receive frequency in analog order. That's the best way numerically it would make sense to me. As a ham radio operator, when you're being given information about a frequency, if you're doing an event or something like that, and you ask, well, which repeater are you on? What frequency are you on? You'll be given the frequency identifier, VE6ARA. You'll be given the frequency that you receive on, which is 145150. The transmit frequency we commonly refer to as an offset. It'll be 0.6. In this case, it's 144550. But you'll just be told 0.6 offset. And you'll be given the tone, the CT tone. And based on the information you're given, you can hunt it down in your repeater index numerically just off your received frequencies. So that's how I choose to arrange mine. This is my standard frequency set that all of my radios wind up receiving at some point anyway. There are a few stations from a neighboring province that I've used from time to time, but mostly this is just the 2-meter repeater frequencies in my local area. And then towards the bottom we get into the 70 centimeter frequencies, and I very recently, due to these radios, added DMR frequencies. I don't know down here. These three here are the DMR frequencies for my area. But aside from the frequencies, and the reason I say these radios are not for the new guy or somebody who's not radio savvy, can be found right here under DMR radio. We'll just open that up, and it's got public, digital, and analog, and that will kind of make you wonder what they're talking about. So we'll start with public. Public, you have channel. That's what we're looking at here. When I click that, that's channel. When I click VFOA, that's where the VFOA will be set to. These are the options. This is for digital. Everything I have programmed with this radio so far is purely analog. To get the DMR side of things working, I'm going to have to see somebody more computer savvy than myself. But moving along from that, VFOB is going to be the same thing. Down here we have zones. So in my zones, I've got Alberta 2 meter, Alberta 70 centimeter, and Calgary DMR. Most of this is going to change as I outfit and program the radio. But on this side, you can see I've copied 53 frequencies for 2 meter, 16 for 70 centimeter, and only 3 for DMR. If we're going to click on this, you can see how it opens up and it lets you copy channel to channel. We'll just hit cancel and get out of it. So, that's your zones. The next one down is scan. So you've got a couple of scan lists. I haven't played with this yet, mostly because I've been busy with the other side of things. Roaming zone is your next one. I really haven't played with this. I'm assuming it would have to do with the DMR side of things for when you're out of your local area. Roaming channels, pretty much the same thing. Add the repeater networks and information for the channels you'll be roaming in. Radio information, it just comes up asking for a serial number and some other information. I haven't looked at that at all. Then you have option feature. This is kind of a large folder. You can program your on-off, different tone alerts, how your display is managed. You can program basic GPS information. Most of this I haven't played with. Turn on and off the capability of recording conversations. You've got some program settings for digital. You've got your work mode, other, VFO scan. Password I haven't set up, but it allows you password power on, password when you're going to read the data, and password when you're going to write data. Lone worker, this is more a commercial thing. And then the menu. And this is where you can turn on and off certain features. I haven't played with most of this yet. I've only just received these radios and just started with the program, so by far not an expert. That's why we call it amateur radio. The key function. This is where you set up the various keys on your radio and what you want them to do. Those keys are going to be your P1 and 2, long press and short press, as well as your SK1 and 2, long press and short press. You would set these up through here. This is all going to eventually change. This is just demonstration, more or less. I'm just getting to know this radio at the time. One key operation, I don't think I've actually opened this. So I guess, to be honest, this is all factory default stuff. I have absolutely no idea what it does. Good luck. We'll just cancel. And then you've got your APRS. And this is for the APRS beaconing. These GPS figures have nothing to do with where I am at the time. This is all default. But you've got digital APS, and of course, again, it's just the default whatever comes in the radio. I haven't really set anything up other than the channels. So that would be the options of public. Now we open up the can of worms of digital. DMR ID, then you've got talk groups, you've got your CSV contact lists, receive group lists. This is all factory default. I haven't done anything in the digital emergency systems. Most of this, I don't even know what it does yet. Digital encryption system. This is where in looking here, we find it has AES 256, AES 128, ARC 4, and then a custom, 4 levels of encryption. You would set your encryption key and your encryption ID. I've yet to play with this, so I don't know anything about it. This is for the radio service I currently use. This is completely irrelevant. We never use this stuff. The point is to be heard, not heard, and not heard, I should say. But if you were in a security environment or running a business using these radios for search and rescue or something like that, I can understand how some of this encryption would become usable. Then we've got your quick text message, and these are just the default programmed messages. Outside the digital, we have analog operation. So your DTMF, and this would be setting up different in tones. It does have a stun and a kill feature in this radio, as we can see right down here. These figures are going to get changed. As far as a PTTID goes, this radio will ID itself either when you transmit or when you stop transmitting, depending on how you set it up. And you can set your PTTID for groups and things like that. Really not used in the radio service that I play in. Most of this stuff I'll just be leaving as default. Some of it, like the stun and kill, I'll be clearing. I have no idea what these codes here are for, so I'll wind up clearing the special call. But this is an area in the programming software. We've got two-tone and a bunch of options. Most of this I don't actually play with, so I don't have a lot to comment on. 5-tone is going to be the same thing as 2-tone, just 3 extra tones. Once again, we don't play with this in the radio service that I'm familiar with, so I don't have much use for this or too much of an understanding, but it is a programmed possibility of the DM-32 radio. This BDC 1200, I can't tell you anything about it. I've never heard of it before purchasing this product, but there it is. You know all I do. Moving along. I don't want delete. I want go away. And then analog contact. Again, I'm not used to this in regular ham radio. I'm certainly not used to this contact ID in digital or in analog radio either. So I can't comment too much on this. But that is a very brief look at the brief and ignorant look at the operating software for programming the DM-32. As I mentioned in a previous video, this radio is feature packed. It does a whole lot of things. But if you're not a radio guy and you don't understand the programming and caveats of everything, you're going to have quite a time with this radio, and you won't you won't be able to get the extra features. Any way you go about it, you're not going to make it work. You really got to know what you're doing to set one of these up. Other than that, that's all I have at this time. I'll try and make more videos as I come to learn this radio a little better. Thank you very much for watching. Do leave your comments in the comments section. Have a great day.